Uche Osakwe, Odumne Buagu, political scientist and a media consultant.
I'm Nono Khalawe, a human rights activist.
I'm Shishan Chakravarti, a peace commissioner.
Please join us on Tuesday, 6:30 p.m.
On G Request Show.
On Ben TV on Sky Channel 175.
Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the G Request Show. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. For more behind the scene, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you for watching. See you soon. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show, everyone. Woo! Thank you. This is how we do it. Thank you so much. Everybody, welcome to G Request Show. Your host, Chris Onus, and thank you for tuning in. This is G Request Show. As always, every week we bring you varieties of different stuff. But today is going to be different tune, different guest, different language. Well, ladies and gentlemen, jump to welcome my guests on the show. Everybody, woo! Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. How you all doing? All good?
I'm all right.
Great, thank you.
Very good. I can see them, man. You want to see them on the show? Well, we'll find out later on. Let's get to meet you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Uche Osakwe. I'm a Nigerian, I'm a political scientist, and a media consultant, and PhD research students in DC.
Wow. Come on, clap for everybody. Amazing. And also to my very good friend, Nono.
Hi, Chris. My name is Nono Khalawe. I'm from South Africa, and I'm a human rights activist.
Thank you. Woo! And also,
Hi, I'm Shashank, youngest immigrant peace commissioner appointed by the Minister for Justice. I'm recently finishing my master's in international business, and I'm delighted to be here.
whoa! Guys, thank you so much. It's just about Minecraft, isn't it? Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you so much, guys. I want to say this is good that we're all coming in here today to talk about one of the most issue happening here in around the world in South Africa. Something we need to talk about. No, let me start with you. Okay. Right now, everybody knows what's going on in South Africa. No, you're my very good friend, and yes. I'm so grateful that you're here.
Thank you.
I'm a friend as well, and you are. So, just to kick this off, for viewers at home, if you're just tuning in, today's show is very, very different. So stay tuned because there's so much we want to talk about on today's show. It's tense, it's tough, it's hard, but it's something we need to talk about. No, let me start with you. Okay. Right now, there's a lot of things happening in South Africa, killings and burning of properties, lives, a lot of stuff. What is your take as a South Africans? Tell us more insight.
Well, Chris, first of all, let me thank you for having me here again.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for everyone being here. I would like to say that, in South Africa, there's a lot of turmoil happening. Yeah. Politically and socially, economically, it's a mess. We are not in xenophobia attacking anybody. It's just a misunderstanding and a miscommunication with the media and the world around. What is happening in South Africa right now is that there's a lot of corruption. And what happened last week is the beginning of citizens in South Africa trying to clean up the place, trying to go forward to see if they can stop this drug dealing and, just corruption around where we live. Because remember, where we live, the majority of black people, they are, squashed in one direction, and the rest is let freely for other people to live in peace and in harmony. So when there's poverty and there's a turmoil like that, there's bound to be, misunderstandings and fights and blaming to for another countries and to say, okay, you're coming to my country to cause these problems because we are having poverty problems, we're having drug dealing problems, and no one seems to care. So people tend to take the law into their hands, and most of the time it turns out to be this whole confusing mess.
So I bring my very good friend in, and I'm glad you're in Nigeria. We're all representing Africans. We're all representing everything that is happening, not just what country you're from. It could be affecting your friend, your family, or anybody you know, but it's a big issue. What is your take?
Oh, thank you very much, Chris,
thank you very
for
much
having me. And I'm a Nigerian, and what is happening in South Africa, I'm not happy. And I don't think a Pan-Africanist, you know, I'm a Pan-Africanist and I believe so much in African fraternity and brotherhood. But unfortunately, you know, what is going on there is not good. And I know that majority of the death there, mostly Nigerians, you know, targeting Nigerians, you know, their properties and this and that. And, you know, barbaric kind of killings, you know, of Nigerians, you know, extrajudicial killing. It cannot be justified in any form, you know. And we have a brotherly relationship with South Africa. Right during the days of apartheid, Nigeria played so much role in South Africa, even to extent Nigeria was called a frontline member of a frontline state, even though we don't live in that geographical, you know, though we are all from sub-Saharan African, but yet we spend so much money, which most Nigerian government was involved. And, you know, our people migrated there and, you know, run a business and this and that. And, you know, we expect, and if you also come to Nigeria, a lot of South African investments are there, from MTN down to ShopRite and DSTV. And things are secured, nobody, you know. So it's not actually, you know, that the people, like she's pointed out, the poverty, venting the angers on Nigerians, you know, killing them, you know, accusing them of that. Then the question is, where are the police? Where are the security officers?
Yeah, I'm going to come into that. Let me bring my gentle friend in. Thank you so much for being on to the show. So give us more insight about yourself.
Right. I personally am also an immigrant who came to a different land from a different country. So if I just want to give my little input on this, what's happening in Africa, I completely understand. Though I'm not African, I share the same pain and sufferings what both these countries are going through right now. And, you know, born in India, brought up in Ireland, I've felt the exact same things. And what I can say, the democratic values of a country are truly tested on the basis of how they treat the minorities and the immigrants. But at the same time, it is very important for that country to also look after the indigenous. Because when you ignore the masses and only look after the minority, then things are gonna go into the opposite direction. And the same thing vice versa. If you focus only on the masses, then these people will feel uncomfortable. So what I think there needs to be a sense of African pride that needs to be, you know, incited in people's hearts that, hey, look, just in Europe, people are proud to be Europeans. Similarly, people need to be proud to be Africans, because in the end of the day, look, our struggles have been very similar. We have fought a common enemy. You know, today we sit in Europe, but these are the same guys who came after us when we were, you know, in the past. So we have fought same enemies, same struggles, same history. There's no point in fighting now. Just because you're not able to find a job or this guy's doing better than you. We need to find that balance, the right balance, which is very important.
A round of applause for that. It's really tense. Before we come in, I was in the boardroom there just going through a lot of things that is really happening. And the more you keep watching it, the more you kind of really see the sadness of it and trying to figure out what exactly would trigger this to this level. I mean, these are the livelihood of people who have invested in South Africa. Cars, shops, looting. And the funniest thing that is so painful, you loot a shop and you come out with a can of milk. What is the gain? What is the gain for that?
Okay, if I may chip in there, Chris. You know, South Africa is not the South Africa that we all living and believing in. I was born there. I grew up there. South Africa is a capitalist, place where the government and everybody in it who is wealthy, they care only about themselves. Okay, so we people, the poor or the majority of the people are living in poverty, and it's not a lie, and it's not caused by laziness and because they want to loot. It's because they've been destabilized and they've been pushed to a certain corner. So there's a big gap between wealth and poverty. Now, again, Afrophobia, you meet your brothers from another country coming to make it as well. And at the end of the day, you find out that even the brothers, they don't get along, in a sense that there's one with the pride, one with the ignorance. We don't know each other's history enough to build a unity, a united front. As I believe, I'm a Pan-Africanist myself, and I believe in AU, and I believe that we have to stick together and march on, because the enemy is not us, the enemy is much bigger than us. It happens in South Africa, it happens in Nigeria as well. They are exploiting people, and they enjoy seeing us fight like this. And the same people that are fighting, they have no internet, they don't know television, they don't know what's happening in the outside world.
Let me stop you there
they
quickly when we
live
come back.
in that
when we
position.
come back, we will
Thank you.
continue from there, because
All
there's
right.
so much to talk about. Come on, give it up for them. Thank you. All right, stay tuned. If you're just tuning in, this is the jury question. As always, today content is all about the issue ongoing in South Africa. The lives that are in stake right now is one of the issues we need to talk about on this show. We'll be right back after this. Thank you. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the Jero Quest Show. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. For more behind the scene, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you for watching. See you soon. Thank you. Everybody, woo, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you guys, thank you. That was a quick commercial break, and I've heard all you said, and it still boils down to how is this going on, because this is not the first time, this is the second time. And this third time, it seems to be they flagged it the first time, the government didn't do anything. The second time, they flagged it, the government didn't do much. Now the third time, they come out in numbers, which means that government couldn't do anything. So they've tested the South African government. They've seen that they can't do anything. This is the way I kind of start seeing things. Because when you step back and start watching it, you wonder, where's the police? Where's the army? Where's the security? Where's these people who are supposed to save the lives?
That's the question. That's the question. If, people talks about poverty, poverty is everywhere in Africa. And such an extent of taking lives. Okay, let's say that you can replace property. You can't replace life.
Very true.
And the funny thing is that some people were enjoying it, killing their fellow blacks, enjoying it.
If I may chip in, really,
So
there was no killing this time. No,
There was a lot.
No.
There
This
was.
week, when this thing happened on the
There was a
30th
lot.
of August, it's because a taxi association went to, face the drug dealing in their town. This thing happens in one town, one taxi association, they march on to face, and it's not even a brother from Nigeria. That fake news, the media said it's a Nigerian brother. No, it wasn't. Apparently, our own media back home, they had to apologize for misinterpreting or for allegedly saying it's a brother from Nigeria. Nobody has been banned. The videos that are there, the person was actually banned, as I'm saying. We come from a clustered place. It's a rapist who was raping kids. And I myself, I know if my babies are going through such a thing, I can do anything. So they took the law into their hand. It's a South African man as a result. So no one was banned. These are fake news. These are totally wrong.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because the information, I'm always on the ground. Nigerian government, we know that Buhari is a very slow person in taking action. And mostly involves from my ethnic groups. I'm aware that many have 2 or 4 people already reported. I'm the chairman of Imo Indigenous Island here.
No.
So, and I know that some information's credible. Do you get the point? And it's like as if a targeted kind of killing. Because when you watch it, you will see that people as if they are celebrating it. If you say there is a drug dealing, that's the question you ask. Where are the police? Why taking the law into your hand? Why must it be the fellow blacks? You can identify a criminal, a kind of, in any civilized society.
Yeah.
And the police takes over and prosecute. If you say somebody is carrying out, is a rapist or is a drug addiction, let the police, let the law enforcement agency do their job. Why must the people celebrating, killing people, burning shops, burning properties? This is not the first time it's happened in South Africa. It's not the second time, and it's always targeted the brotherhood and the rest of them. Then the question is, why are we Africans? There is no need of this.
I'm sorry, but this time it's totally a misinterpretation of xenophobia. Even as South Africans, we are confused at this point that what is happening. Yes, the people, they are angry, but they loot okay because they live within those spaces, and we can't do anything about it. Everywhere there's things like that. You
can't say they can't do anything about it because the things people go in to steal is just a can of milk. How can you rob a shop and come out with a can of milk or something?
How badly the economy and how badly people are living. 50% of the youth are dosed on drugs, which are sold to them by our own brothers. If you expect a youth and a man to stand up and go and be a president tomorrow, don't give them drugs. So the police officers are actually working with the drug dealers. So we don't have law in South Africa.
So which means
we
South
need
Africa
to
knows
deal.
that the police are more
Yes, they are
involved in
so
this.
corrupt. We need to charge them and put them into trial.
So why is South Africans are pointing hands to other national, especially Nigerians?
Not Nigerians, to anyone who sells and deals with drugs.
But everybody does it.
No.
But like
If there's no buyer, there will not be a seller.
They are still Nigerians living in South Africa today. They are not involved in any of that. This thing is happening in one particular town, which, of course, that's where drug dealing is happening. So if there's no law, there's no order, people will be bound to take law into their own
You can
hands.
say this conversation is very heavy, it's very painful. I know even though you're not from Africa, but nearly every crisis that is happening in the African region right now, your country could have experienced it as well. What is your take between he say, yes say? Tell us.
I think it's very difficult to make a judgment on the basis of what we see in the news because I personally am not on the ground to see what is happening.
True.
Right? As we know, look, fake news has been a controversial topic of the past 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
And a lot of, on the basis of this, a lot of changes have been made with the GDPR coming in and Facebook is changing their policies and all this kind of stuff. So I think what we need to understand is that before making any judgment on how this country is treating other people or how the law is being acting, first we need to go and understand what is happening on ground. Now, I personally don't know what's happening. In regards to the statement the lady made here, is that drugs has been an issue in our society for a very long time. Like it's an ancestral issue. No matter how smart the law gets, you can never get rid of it because then they get smarter.
Of course, yeah.
Exactly. So what we need to understand is that we need to not treat drug addicts as criminals, but as someone who has a health issue. You know, when we start treating them as human beings, then they will start treating us as human beings. Because if we treat them as criminals, and when this rioting happens, then in the heat of the moment, even if you have nothing to do with the other person, you will still go and attack. These guys have nothing to do with what's happening, the main agenda, and these are the guys who are celebrating because they're already high, right? They are celebrating in the heat of the moment, but they have no idea what's going on just because they're on drugs. Because they think of themselves as criminals, so when these activities are happening, they take part in it.
Amazing. Let me bring it back to you. Do you agree with me that, yes, some Nigerians are there who deals on drugs? Would that be something you can confide on?
I wouldn't want to.
If even though you've not seen it, we have to be very sincere with ourselves. There's no point of coming in and say, oh, 100%. No country is 100% clean. Trust me. You're going to always find one person. But that does not mean everybody. But my question to you, do you agree, yes, there is some Nigerians there who are dirty-handed. Put it this way.
Chris, is it some narratives people can, of course, there are always, you wouldn't say a country with almost 180 million people, and that there wouldn't be some bad eggs among Nigerians. Of course, there will. Also, there are genuine Nigerians.
Oh, yes, of course, definitely.
So, you know, if you single out some people and said, no, almost everybody is a criminal, then that's the person that's making a mistake. Yeah, Nigerians, there are genuine Nigerians everywhere. There are also goods, bads, and the rest of them, just like any other nationalities.
Sure.
But my text here is that if there is a poverty, there's a failure of leadership. The youth supposed to attack their own leaders and fight against imperialism or neocolonialism. Why fighting the other Africans who are also struggling to survive? If they are struggling to make out living, why fighting them? Why killing them? So the question is that, and you look at every time there is problem in South Africa, instead of fighting the government that is supposed to give them that food, give them that welfare package and all the rest of them, there is a contract, it's a social contract. When you elect a government, you expect back from the government to take care of you. Then you now channel the anger to other people who are making it. It doesn't make sense. Is that kind of, reactions, you now expect that the government is not acting. The citizens should ask themselves question, why must I attacking others? Just like as it's happened. Nigeria, supposed to be attending the World Economic Forum there.
Yeah.
They'd have to, suspend it. South African investment, you would have asked, why didn't there be? People were rioting, which is a normal. Demonstration is a normal thing. But the police have to protect this investment.
Like the way it is in Europe.
That is how it's done.
Yeah. When there's a
But there,
protest,
you can see people's investment destroyed. So it means that the government just let the people take a revenge against the foreigners, especially their own. That's how I see it. Take a revenge against the foreigners. And you wouldn't see any police. You look at the street, no police. And this is a country that is rated as second or first biggest economy in sub-Saharan Africa.
Next to Nigeria.
Next to Nigeria. Yes, but
we actually should be dealing and working together, because the enemy knows Nigeria and South Africa, they are the giants of Africa. We have to be working together. And if we don't work together, white monopoly capital is going to destroy the legacy of Mandela and all the great leaders of Africa.
And I can guarantee you, I don't think Mandela right now is happy with the
No.
situation.
He wouldn't be happy.
All right, look, guys, we're still going to have you guys on the show. We want to go a quick break as we come back. So viewers at home, stay tuned for more of this. We'll be right back after this break. Thank you. Come on, show us a love, one of our Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the J Request Show. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. For more behind the scene, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you for watching. See you soon. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you. Well done, guys. Thank you so much. That was a quick break just to refresh you guys and, regain more strength to kind of put this on. Okay, guys, look, I know this is a very tense kind of topic we're talking about, and I'm so glad that we're all here talking about it because it's vital for us. Other question I want to ask, because of time, very quickly. No, you from South Africa. What should South Africans do right now? Because everybody is really, really hungry. Life lost, property gone. You can't recover lives. Property, yes, possible, but that's going to take a lot of time for that to happen. So what do you think people should give?
I think, first of all, the government should take full responsibility of what happened in South Africa, because they haven't done any of that just yet. And secondly, they must educate the people about Africans in general. You know, we are the last country in Africa that got the independence just 24 years ago. And we haven't even dealt with our issues of land and reform and, you know, the economy. Everything, 85% is still owned by white minority. So I think the government should stand up and deliver to the people. Create a new town, new developments, put the youth to school, you know, just uplift the people. Because right now, everything is just going down.
And it's even worse right now.
It's getting worse because of the economy.
Let me bring my friend in. Poverty is one of the biggest issues in Africa across the whole board right now. And one of these poverty problem is what's kind of constitute to what South Africa is going through. What should Africa be doing about poverty right now? Because it's a big problem.
It's a big problem. The white imperialists created a problem in Africa. And the failure of these post-colonial leaders trying to, you know, supposed to address some of these issues, you know, independent, you know, just like she pointed out, you know, the land reform in South Africa. It's everywhere. Corruption. You know, the government failed to create a job for the people. Instead, some of them, in collusion with the foreigners, you know, siphoning the resources meant for the people. So the best way is create employment. And the time has gone. We hear about Asian tigers, we hear this, and nobody transferred technology. I will always say it, you need to steal technology. Koreans steal technology, Japan steal technology to develop. Africa has to
find a way.
Instead of allowing what is going on today, China has Nigeria, Africans are now a dumping ground. You know, killing infant industry. What you see there is a foreign industry, it's killing the African home destiny. So at the end of the whole day, what Nkrumahs and co, the Pan-Africanists fought against the neocolonialism is still, and colonialism is coming off from in different forms. So, and the big boys are taking the money, while the people are suffering. So the only way is a revolution in Africa. If there should be a revolution, that will be a change.
Wonderful. Can I bring my friend in? What are the work you do for Migrant? Tell us about it.
Well, I think the gentleman here was talking about revolution. The good thing is because we're living overseas, we're not connected with the on-ground scenarios. We actually have an upper hand where we can all work together, be an example, right? And represent not just South Africa or Nigerians, but represent the entire immigrant community. And that kind of brings to my work is that when I represent the Indian community, I'm actually not representing just them. I'm representing every single individual who is stuck in this red tape. So when I campaigned to get the re-entry visa abolished, it wasn't just for Indians, it was for everybody.
Very true.
Right? Similarly, we can all work with each other and be an example for our brothers in Africa who are fighting each other to see, look, overseas, we live together. Why are we fighting here? But overseas, we are eating at each other's house. We are sharing our culture. We're sharing our stories. We're sharing our houses because, you know, renting and all that kind of stuff.
Course, yes,
but here we can't share our own homes. Why not? You know? And to conclude with my work, look, I've done a lot of work in terms of reforming the immigration system in Ireland, getting stamp 1G extended from 1 to 2 years.
Wow.
You know, stamp 3 right to work. I worked with a wonderful team, and they were like one of the best hustlers, I can tell you. They went after the ministers, every single TD, whether it be Labour, Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil, they were connecting with them. You know, they did a wonderful job. And we got our work done because we learned how to collaborate with each other.
Wow.
Collaboration is key for human success for mankind.
Wow. Thank you.
On that note, if I may say, yes, the revolution, we need it in the diaspora. We need a new voice that will come home and teach the government how it's done, because I think they need to sit down and let us do the work.
Yeah.
And on top of it, we need to educate ourselves about Africa. Everybody, it's their responsibility. We as a voice, we need to go and teach our people that this is how it's done. And, you know, people like you, my brother, they are already doing the work, but we need to enforce as Africans that we are united. No borders. AU must tighten up their mindsets. Colonialism must be gone. but we need to make sure that our people are free from all this madness that the government, our own government,
Come on,
and free Nigeria must be freed.
And before we wrap things up, guys, so poverty is one of the biggest problems, like we just said. And if we don't wrap this up as soon as we can, generation to generation are going to really get into it. And it's going to be really, really damaging to us. So we really hope the issue in South Africa right now should be a eye-opening for everybody. Things have really lost. I keep saying it. I don't know how tourism is going to be in South Africa right now. It's going to be really mess because nobody wants to go there because of the crisis involved. So I really hope that this issue find a way to ease himself, that he's come back. People find a way to forgive what has happened, but it will always remain in the mind of people. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you all three for coming on the show today. Give it up one more time for everybody. And give it up for Mom, everybody. Have a very good finish to everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, viewers at home, this is where we're going to wrap things up. Thank you for tuning in. As always, the jury question, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. And if you enjoy or you get yourself educated from what you've heard today from our wonderful guests, please drop us a message. We'll come your way next week. Take care and God bless. So one more time, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.